everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from rainy Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up today, we're going to be talking about disasters and God's will.
Yeah, we are. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's some shit going down. The Lord is clearly upset with us.
Well, with the Caribbean and Florida.
And now Mexico City, and
Well-
he lit a bunch of the states on fire, and half of Asia's underwater. It's a crazy mixed up world we live in right now.
I know.
Who knows what's going on?
Too bad.
It is too bad.
Well, I'd hate to be in one of them. That's for sure.
Well,
I
what's
feel
nice
bad for the people.
What's
in
nice
them.
is that we are safe and sound, tucked into the Wasatch Mountains, where nothing can hurt us ever in the world,
except for some massive earthquake.
except for when the massive earthquake hits and just destroys the entire city of Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
there's that.
But until then, we're fine. Hey, what do you got? You got anything good for us?
Well, I have an update about gay cakes.
Well, great.
Gay wedding cakes,
The
gay
gay-
birthday cakes.
I mean, all
gay,
cakes are kind of gay.
Anniversary cakes.
I feel like cake in general is kind of a gay concept, like in a good way.
Yeah.
They're celebratory and
Well, they're happy. They're for happy occasions.
Yeah.
You very rarely does one have sad cakes.
yeah. Who does a sad cake?
There actually is a kind of cake called a sad cake, but
Well, that's miserable. don't ever do that. All cakes are happy.
anywho, this sort of famous case that's coming out of Colorado, where the conservative, religious, probably evangelical, if I remember right, baker refused to bake a cake for, I think, a lesbian couple's wedding, right? And now the whole thing has turned into this international affair. Almost,
yeah.
right. Just terrible. Well, the LDS Church has signed on, is lending their voice in an effort to support the bakers.
Right. Just
who are
weeks
refusing.
after they did that whole, they gained all of that goodwill by supporting that concert that was for gay homeless youth.
Yeah.
Weeks after that,
They
they weighed in for no reason into this
Right.
cake debacle.
Right. And so this document that's being sent over, that was also signed by a majority of Utah's state senators as sort of one of these front of the court brief.
An
things.
amicus brief.
Yes.
Indeed.
One of the lines in the thing says, now that the court has protected the liberty of same-sex couples, it is equally important to protect the religious liberties of conscientious objectors. Is that what this is?
No.
Conscientiously objecting?
No one's sending this baker into war. That is not what is happening.
It's the cultural war, though, Dan.
It is. Well,
This is the front lines of the cultural war.
I mean, they're warring. Against culture. That's for sure.
Yeah, but
We're on the side of culture.
we need a compromise position between LGBT protections and religious liberty. And then, of course,
I mean, I'm all for protecting religious liberty. You just don't get to discriminate when you
don't
open
get
a
special
business.
rights. Yeah,
When you open a business and it's just like your business is making cake, you can't
Right.
deny that cake to a black couple.
right.
You can't deny it to a Jewish couple.
No,
And you can't deny it to a gay couple.
right, exactly.
You can't deny it to a Muslim couple.
Well, and here's the deal. It seems as though, because these would be the first people to call out anyone treating them differently because they're Mormon,
oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
But all they're doing is paving the road that would allow that to happen.
if it weren't so harmful to their business, I would certainly, if I were a baker, I would 100% be tempted to be like, I don't do Christian weddings. I would 1,000% be tempted to do that. It would be stupid for business,
Right.
but like, yeah. Is this what you guys want? You guys want people to be able to do that?
Yeah, we should open a bakery called Hateful Cakes.
Right. Hate cakes.
Hate Cakes. And
Hatesy cakesy.
pick the people that we don't like.
Right.
And we don't make cakes for them.
And just, as they walk in, if we don't like the smell on them,
yeah.
if we don't like the vibe that we're getting, no.
Oh, I'd be good at that.
You'd be too
I'd
good
be
at that.
really good at that.
No. You do not get a cake.
Well, Dingus McGee, Mike Lee, our actual senator goes off to Congress. Mike Lee, he says more and more the adherents of this creed, meaning the people who
hate gays.
No.
For Jesus?
No.
Oh, the people who like gays.
The ruling elites, the secular progressive creed, right?
Oh, yeah.
More and more, the adherents of this creed seek to use the power of government to steamroll disfavored groups.
Oh, yeah.
So they force evangelical caterers to bake cakes celebrating same-sex marriages.
Right.
And they force nuns to purchase contraceptive coverage and sue religious hospitals that won't perform abortions or sex reassignment surgeries. They are desperate for another culture war.
Oh,
they need one.
I mean, they've declared it.
They've declared it. It's like
they've declared the war. It's just the problem is that they're tilting at windmills.
Yeah,
to a large extent.
Well, it's just really, but that's where you want to go. You want to be on the side of exclusion and like that, like we're. Who's surprised at sort of the rise of Nazism in this country? Right. When this so easily dovetails into that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to like draw too. I'm not calling Mike Lee a Nazi. I'm not calling these cake bakers Nazis.
No.
But there's some thread that connects them.
But you can't look at these things happening.
It's the discrimination.
And then you see, the alt-right, and you can't say, I did not see that coming.
Right.
Not see that coming. See what I did there?
God,
see,
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Please don't make light of Nazis.
I will.
In this day and age.
I will make light of all of the things.
Nazis are so fucking serious.
It's true, they are. There you go, baking. Yeah, the church wading into an issue that they didn't need to.
They don't need to be involved.
They didn't need to involve themselves at all.
Right.
Good thing that they dove in.
I'm so glad,
because they might have not undone all of the work, all of the goodwill that they had built up. They might have just kept it.
Right.
But no, they knew better.
Right.
I tell you what, I feel like there is a war happening
inside the church.
And like certain people at the top are going in one direction, and certain people at the top are going in another direction, and they just won't.
Well, which apostle has the gay brother?
Oh, I don't know. Don't they all have?
Well, there's one that's actually like an outspoken.
Oh, really?
Gay man.
Oh, okay.
There was actually an article in the Tribune this week about it.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go. It's a war. It's a war that's happening. I'm going to take us to southern Utah, former home of Warren Jeffs and his merry band of polygamizing fundamentalist Mormons down there. Now his home is a jailhouse in Texas, is a prison in Texas.
Yeah, and rightly so.
And rightly so. Well, he just lost another pretty big legal battle. And this I am so happy about. A woman named Alyssa Wall was recently awarded more than $16 million in damages owing to the fact that Jeffs married her off to her cousin at age 14.
Oh, my God.
This was... marriage at age 14 in the state of Utah is legal, I think. But this wasn't a legal marriage. This was a what they term spiritual marriage.
Right.
Because they operate outside of the legal definition of marriage in this country.
So this was child rape.
Indeed, and trafficking, really. Because
legal. It wasn't just spiritual child rape. It was also legal.
It was also just statutory rape of a child. She was married. This happened in 2001, and she sued Jeffs and the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And $16 million is no small shakes.
Yeah, that's good.
That is a lot of money.
Is the money there?
I doubt it, but I don't know how that works in this blood from a stone sort of environment. They've got a lot of money. I mean, they have holdings and whatnot. Some of which was divvied up and divided out by the state.
Yeah, I mean, there's that trust. Does she get some money from the trust?
Maybe. I don't know. Works? I do not know. But yes, it's that's a thing that happened. She is now an activist against their practices. She said, quote, Warren Jeffs exercised this absolute control, power, and authority. Oh no, sorry. This is the judge, Keith Kelly, who said Warren Jeffs exercised this absolute control, power, and authority over her life so that he could require her as a young girl to enter into an unlawful spiritual marriage. So, yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
No.
That is child abuse, among other things.
Right.
So
how old is she now? Does it say?
Well, she was 14 in, what did I say, 2001?
Okay.
So do some math on that.
She's 30.
Yeah. So good for her. And hopefully she'll continue. She's an activist to help others who are in her former situation. Yeah. 'Cause that's not cool.
No,
that's not okay.
I have the story, Dan, of a religious order in Belgium.
Okay.
That owns and operates 15 psychiatric hospitals.
Whoa.
It's the Brothers of Charity.
It's the Brothers of...
And they're Catholic.
You're crazy.
Right. Yeah. Catholic.
Yeah.
And they allow their doctors to perform euthanasia.
Oh.
It's a psychiatric hospital. They are in Belgium. Doctors.
So when a person elects on their,
I'm about to go there.
Okay.
So doctors in Belgium are legally allowed to kill people with mental health problems at the person's request.
At their own request. Right.
I mean, this is euthanasia. This is not doctor assisted. This is full on. The doctor is the one taking the life.
Right. But the person is of sound enough mind that they can make the decision for themselves.
They have decided that they have requested for the doctor to take their life.
Right.
Okay.
They're done.
They are done.
This isn't
euthanasia can only be
because it does
performed.
sound a little bit like the doctor could just be making a unilateral decision. Like, you're pretty crazy.
We're going to go through the process here. The euthanasia can only be performed if there are no reasonable quote unquote no reasonable treatment alternatives.
Okay.
Requests would only be considered with the greatest caution.
Sure.
And they must be evaluated by 3 doctors at least.
Sure.
In order and the doctors have to concur and be on board and say yes, this person is able to make this decision, and there's nothing that we can do to help them through their misery.
We've tried all the interventions.
We've done everything.
They're just not going to work.
And so this person wants their life to end. We will make that happen.
But this poses a problem for
because they're
Catholics.
Yeah. The Pope has actually asked them directly to stop this. They have 30 days to comply.
Okay.
Or they had 30 days to comply. I believe we're still in the window of time for them to comply.
Okay.
And the Brothers of Charity have released a statement saying that they do not feel that euthanasia is inconsistent with Catholic doctrine.
Ho! They are reading different books than I am.
And so they are in defiance of Pope Francis right now.
Fuck you, Pope.
And they are going to continue doing what is legal in Belgium.
Wow.
And apparently in the Netherlands as well. And
there's even there are people who are death tourists who go to different countries where either doctor-assisted suicide or
well, they don't really go to other countries. They go to another country. If you're a death tourist, you get to do it one time.
Indeed. Although you might
go experience death in all the places.
No, but you might go and talk to a Swiss doctor and be like, I'm not feeling it here. I'm going to try Belgium.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to bounce around and then you find the place that you're just gelling with. You're like, oh, this is good.
Well, what if you
I'm going to have them kill me.
Experienced euthanasia in this country, but you also experienced, revival.
Oh.
Right? You had them bring you back. So you could then go try death in another country. And you could really compare.
It's the Flatliners tour.
You could write the guidebook to death.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's a bad idea.
Sounds like Kurt Vonnegut's thing that he did. Reports from the other side or whatever.
Okay.
He did it for, I think, WNYC
Huh.
in the last years of his life. And he would report back from Dr. Kevorkian was helping him.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Kevorkian was his Virgil. I can't remember.
His spirit guide.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, well, defying the Pope.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we're going to see how that one plays out.
Yeah.
Because
defying the
my
Pope
guess is that's
for the
not going to
right
go well for the Brothers of Charity.
kill people. Well, they won't. They'll then just be the men of charity. They will no longer be
the men.
Yeah. They will no longer be official. I'm going to take us to the United States Air Force, which I don't know if you know this,
Where is that?
but is subject to the and every member thereof declares their allegiance to the Constitution of the United States of America. So you'd think that would mean that they would honor that that Constitution. A chaplain in the United States Air Force, Captain Sonny Hernandez, recently maybe fell afoul of that. Maybe wasn't quite up on his on what he should be doing in terms of the Constitution when he said, quote, "Counterfeit Christians in the armed forces will appeal to the Constitution and not Christ. And they have no local church home, which means they have no accountability for their souls. This is why so many professing Christian service members will say, we support everyone's right to practice their faith, regardless if they worship a God different from ours, because the Constitution protects this right." So far, he's describing exactly how a service person should indeed act. But he continued, "Christian service members who openly profess and support the rights of Muslims, Buddhists, and all other anti-Christian worldviews to practice their religions because the language in the Constitution permits are grossly in error and deceived."
Oh, indeed. Oh, they sound so deceived.
Yeah. Or maybe he's the one that's in error. 'Cause what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because these chaplains, I will remind our audience, are not just there for their Christian service
for
people.
everyone.
They're there as a resource for all of our airmen.
Supposedly even the atheist.
Supposedly even them.
Yes.
The worst people in the Air Force. He is meant to be serving them too. But he clearly does not believe that.
No.
The MRFF, the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, has filed multiple requests that he be investigated, as they should. The man should lose his job.
Yeah.
He's basically just declared, I don't believe in my job, and I don't want to do it properly.
Get him out of there.
Yeah. You don't belong there. Go be a pastor, some hateful place.
Yeah, where you're allowed to be.
Where you can say all the hateful, nasty shit you want to about everybody.
Is that really the advice? I think the advice is quit being such a hateful bastard.
Oh,
you piece of shit.
He's not going to do that.
No, I know. But I don't want to give him any other advice than that.
Okay.
Learn to love everyone.
You're such a good person,
just as
Frank.
Jesus loved everyone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. How about stop worrying so much about what is and isn't in the Constitution and maybe read your book and figure out what Jesus would like. Because he didn't just minister to Christians.
Yeah.
He'd never even met a Christian the entire time he was alive.
Never did.
Met a bunch of Jews and a bunch of non-Jews.
Yeah.
And he kind of said, love them all.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, but see, therein lies the whole issue here, Dan.
Yeah.
Christianity didn't exist yet.
Right.
So...
But if it had
existed, then he would have been more hateful.
Jesus would obviously have been like, you know what? Fuck everybody who isn't in the me religion. if you're not in the me business, in the business of loving on me,
Yeah.
fuck you. Muslims.
No, they didn't exist yet.
Well, but once they do, they kind of love on him too, though.
Ish.
Not well enough.
Not. They don't really. They
like
tolerate.
They
him.
like their guy more.
Oh,
and that's
a lot. Like
and that sucks.
a lot more.
Yeah, Jesus doesn't like that.
No. It's gotta be central.
Yeah.
Well, my next story. Is one that goes back to the very roots of our podcasting.
Ooh.
Did you know that the
exciting.
world is about to end?
Again?
Again! It just keeps ending.
It does.
Over and over and over.
Or rather, it keeps about to ending. It still hasn't made it to that next level.
The actual ending?
The actual ending of the
actually one of these people is right.
Right.
David Mead is the latest one to come out.
It's a name I don't remember ever
Crackpot.
having heard before.
Yeah, he posts video. He at least has posted a video on YouTube
Okay.
that has caught a lot of traction. Called September 23rd, 2017. You need to see this. And
You're not going to make it to your next birthday.
I know. That's the day before my birthday, Dan. So he has based this whole prediction on some numerical codes that he's found in the Bible.
Oh, yeah. That's what they do now.
That's
It's
the only way to
classic.
do it, really.
It's the classic.
His number that he's obsessed with is the number 33.
Okay.
Jesus lived for 33 years.
So why isn't it just September 33rd?
Well, we're going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Jesus lived for 33 years.
Yeah.
The name Elohim, which is the name of God to the Jews,
Yeah.
right, was mentioned 33 times in the Bible.
Okay.
Okay. This is gotta watch this number, right?
So far, well beyond what could
Right.
possibly
This is
be
a
explained by
biblically
coincidence.
significant number.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. September 23rd is 33 days after the total solar eclipse that happened on August 21st.
Hey, you know what else? There's 33 books in the Bible, plus some.
Okay.
But there are 33. So
Right.
that's
There's
not.
33 words.
There's 33 words. Yeah. if you count 30,
Plus more.
33 words in from every chapter of the Bible, there's a word.
There's a whole new message.
And it's and if you put them all together and then rearrange them, you get sentences.
You should do that, Dan. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Maybe you could teach this David Mead guy a thing or two.
Oh yeah.
Right? So according to Mr. Mead, the book of Revelation has an image that it describes, right? That appears in the sky. When there's supposed to be a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head, who gives birth to a boy who will, quote, rule all the nations with an iron scepter.
Now this I remember this. This is an ancient Aztec myth, right? Oh no, this is still Christian people
This is
talking.
Christian. This
doesn't make any sense. What the
Book of
fuck is-
Revelation, Dan.
Oh well.
She's threatened by a red 7-headed dragon.
Yeah.
And then the woman grows wings of an angel and is swallowed up by the earth. Okay.
And then the White Walkers come
So there's
in
that. Okay.
with the King of the Night.
So he feels like this is talking about the constellation Virgo, which represents a woman.
A virgin.
Yeah. The constellation Virgo is clothed in sunlight in a position that is over the moon and under 9 stars and 3 planets. The planet Jupiter, which will have been inside Virgo in her womb, right, will move out of Virgo as though she is giving birth. And this all happened, according to him, at the eclipse.
It all makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Now, also, though, Dan,
Yeah.
Mr. Mead wants to make sure that everybody understands that he's not saying that the world will actually end on Saturday.
Oh. Well, then what the fuck?
The book of Revelation is manifesting that day, and it's going to lead to a series of catastrophic events
Okay.
that will happen over the course of weeks.
But
So,
we've already had catastrophic events.
There will be more, Dan.
I'm just
The
saying,
catastrophic events have not ended yet.
I feel like his math might be off because we've already started the catastrophes.
I know. He says the world is not ending, but the world as we know it is ending. Boy, this guy's got it down. He's actually not a dumb predictor of the end of the world.
Because unlike Harold Camping, who was
Right.
like the rapture, there's going to be the earthquakes and the things, and then the rapture happens.
Right.
Like that's verifiably, testably,
Didn't happen.
easily disproved.
Yeah.
This guy, he's like, some shit's gonna go down.
Yeah. And it's because the world is ending.
Boy, you don't even know. You're not even ready for the stuff that's about to happen. And then
The world will still be here. It's just going to be different.
it's going to be different. And the way it's going to be different, look at who is going to win the Oscars. Look at who's going to win the Tonys. It's going to be,
I'm predicting Meryl Streep does not win.
yeah,
That's the end of the world.
that's the end of the world right there.
End of the world right there. For me, holy shit.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
I would just be crying. Meryl. Oh, Meryl.
Oh, Meryl. All right, well, look for it, kids. An end of the world that does not resemble the end of the world is coming your way. Coming to a theater near you.
That'd be a really boring movie.
Yeah, exactly. The non-end of the world. End of the world. I'm going to take us to Australia for a proof of predictions that have been made.
Oh?
Gay marriage is now officially hurting straight marriages.
Oh, no.
Yeah. As you may or may not be aware, currently in Down Under, recently there's a vote happening.
They're having a national referendum
on gay
on the
marriage,
issue.
whether or
Yes.
not to allow gay marriage.
Yes, because they've allowed domestic partnerships up till now.
But it's time to talk marriage.
Now they want the full thing.
Right.
All right, gotcha.
Or some people do. Others very much do not want the full thing.
Really?
And one of those people.
I thought Australia had their shit together more than that.
No.
They don't?
Absolutely not. One of the people who definitely does not want gay marriage is Presbyterian minister Stephen North, who recently canceled a straight wedding that he was all set to perform
Right.
because he saw on the couple's Facebook pages that they were in favor of gay marriage. The bride
What a dick.
posted a thing about, I know it's not something everyone will agree on, and that's fine, but this is what I stand for. And frankly, it doesn't affect my relationship with my partner one bit. To which she got a response from the minister, or eventually she heard from the minister that, quote, by continuing to officiate, it would appear either that I support your views on same-sex marriage or that I am uncaring about the matter. As you know, neither statement is correct.
Oh, boy.
So, the Ebenezer St. John's Church will not be performing this marriage.
Oh, no.
The couple has now left that church in outrage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What a dick.
And what a wrong dick.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. This couple had already informed him that there would be gay people in the wedding party and at the wedding.
And he was okay with that.
He was totally down with that.
Oh,
But he
fuck
couldn't.
him.
But he thought that their stance was going to so badly reflect on him that he just couldn't, in good conscience, be associated with those views.
no.
Which that he has married people with much worse views
Yeah.
than that.
Oh
He
my
has.
God.
Yeah.
This is the Ebenezer St. Scrooge
Yeah.
Presbyterian Church.
Indeed.
Oh, my God.
What a dick.
Where was it? Sydney?
No. Somewhere. I don't know where it
I
is.
could name like the two other Australian cities that.
Canberra.
Oh, I always forget that one.
It's the capital.
I know, but I still always forget it.
Yeah. Anyway, somewhere in Australia that happened. If you'd like to correct our geography or chime in on any of the things that we've talked about, ladies and gentlemen, you can do so. Write into us, podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
It is. He's not lying. Hey, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIA Atheist, and click that like button.
And while on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but we'll let you in.
We will.
So, Dan.
Yeah.
We have a little clip here. Some satanic shit's been going down.
Well, okay, so this is a reference. So Alex Jones is about to go crazy. As he likes to do. What he's going to be referencing is, like, vaguely, he'll glance off of this, but there is that sort of that case in the Midwest, somewhere in Missouri, maybe? I don't remember where it is, where a member of the Satanic Temple is suing the state because that state, whatever state it is, has very restrictive abortion laws, and she wanted an abortion, and she didn't want to have to wait the 2-day waiting period or whatever. And she says it, and because Satanic Temple has crafted their beliefs in such a way that one of the beliefs is that basically she has a right to get an abortion when she wants it. So using the same law that Hobby Lobby used to get around having to provide contraception for their employees,
right?
She is suing on religious grounds to have the right not to have to wait for an abortion.
Right. Fantastic.
So Satanism, abortion, it's all good for Alex Jones. So here's what he had to say.
They take the little cute desperate baby and then they sit there with a scalpel, and the baby, even at 9 months, is fighting, and they go, "Look how tough I am," and just they go, "I love you, Satan. I love you, Satan," as the baby begs, and they all run over and start drinking the blood and slurping, and they all have sex with each other, and they just pledge to get your kids and pledge to overthrow God and pledge to overthrow prosperity. And when they drive through the countryside and see your nice cut fields and your pretty little farmhouses and your nice kids, they want to kill you. Planned Parenthood teams up with Satanists to promote abortion in Missouri. I shouldn't laugh. How many times do you hear about an abortionist getting busted because they're keeping babies alive, or they're doing rituals, or they're having sex with the corpses, and then they'll argue in court, "It's my religion, I'm a Satanist." Because they'll have nurses in there at these abortuaries where they're doing the partial birth. I mean, who wants, even if you believe in abortion, to kill 7, 8, 9-month-old babies that are operable outside the womb and would be given up to adoption? People will pay you up to $100 grand for those babies through legal systems. Why do they want to go kill them? Why is a woman going to pay $3,000 to have a partial birth abortion done? Why? Well, number one, they're selling the body parts. The mothers don't know it. They're ignorant. But sometimes it's a satanic ritual. And they go ahead and take the baby out, and they kill it right there. And the mother's involved. And I've talked to law enforcement. It's come out in the news. You can just search engine, abortion doctor was a Satanist. Or you can search top Nazi doctor, then traveled to Latin America to be an abortionist, and he was also an occultist. I mean, you see this everywhere. Well, of course, who wants to kill 9-month-old babies? Devil worshipers.
Oh.
There you have it.
That was a mess.
That was one long, amazing stream of consciousness thing.
There's words I've never heard there.
Abortuary.
An abortuary.
That's
fantastic.
A great word. Well coined, sir. Well coined.
Calling the unborn child a 7-month-old baby.
A 9-month-old baby.
Or a 9-month-old baby is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
No.
We start counting once they're birthed.
That's not a baby yet.
No.
Oh.
So and also, like, yeah. No, they're apparently what the Satanists are doing is aborting the baby, but not killing it. They're making sure that it's born and then murdering it. Because the Satanism is all very, very real.
And slurp the blood.
They're drinking the hell out of the blood and having sex with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, no. They're having sex with each other, Frank. What are we going to do?
I don't know. That is
Terrifying.
what an amazingly awful abortuary.
It's the worst abortuary of all. No. Oh, man. So there you go. Satan's... here's the thing. And, of course, he has people search engine a bunch of things. Frankly, the use of the phrase search engine as a verb is alarming to me.
Yeah, search on the internet.
Yeah, search. But then he gives them the headlines of articles that are probably on his website.
Right.
And he's like, how often do you hear about this stuff? You hear about it all the time. From me.
Quite honestly, no, I've never heard about that.
You hear about it? If you watch his show, I'll bet you'd hear about it a lot.
Probably. That's probably fair.
Because I'm sure it's one of his favorite topics.
That's really crackers right there. That's just...
Oh, that man. Who gave him a microphone? But then again, who gave us a microphone?
We gave ourselves microphones.
Yeah, this is the day and age when you can just buy your own damn microphone and start a chatting. So we had some people write into us, call into us.
Indeed.
We've got some missives to answer. I'll dive in with an email. Hey guys, this is from Emily. I'm a new listener of your podcast and highly enjoy them. Thanks for keeping me entertained on my drive to work. So I was raised Catholic and recently moved to a town in Florida called Ave Maria. I think we talked about Ave Maria, Florida. It was a planned community. As all planned communities in Florida go, she says. It is in the middle of nowhere and gated and all that. But with the addition of Ave Maria University and the huge church in the center, it is a little cultish. Anyway, who just wanted to pass on a little story. Irma is bearing down on us, and my landlord called to ask about the hurricane shutters and said he talked to the priest about church this weekend, and thank God the priest said it will not be a sin to miss church Saturday or Sunday because of Irma.
Okay.
I haven't been to church in a while, and I certainly was not planning on going during a Category 5 hurricane, but thanks for the reassurance. Yeah, now they got Maria headed out there. Who knows?
Yeah.
People could be skipping church left and right. Madness.
Or, yeah. What is going to happen to this community?
Yeah. So we're all praying for Emily. Thoughts and prayers, Emily.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's nice.
Do you have a
voicemail?
I
have a voicemail. This is a response to a couple episodes ago wherein we had talked about sort of the confluence of Christian schools, racism, and all of that kind of stuff in the South, and kind of how that mechanism works,
and homeschooling,
prop up, in order to kind of, underfund the public schools because it's really just the African American kids,
right?
And the white racists have their
private schools, whatever,
and probably a lot of non-racists, but just people who can afford it,
right?
And because the public schools have been underfunded, so forth and so on. But it's a vicious, horrible cycle. Anyway, somebody who kind of experienced that whole thing sharing her story.
Right.
Hey, Frank, Dan, and company. I just wanted to weigh in on the article you guys discussed at the end of the last episode. I think you said the woman who wrote the article is fairly young, but I wanted to share my experience. In 2013, I graduated from a Cobb County Public High School in Georgia. Cobb County is actually a really well-off area, and their schools are considered pretty high quality for Georgia public schools. I would say our teachers definitely glossed over the slavery and allowed states' rights narrative to be circulated by students without much resistance. Additionally, in this quote-unquote higher quality education I received, I was taught abstinence-only sex ed. Before that, my entire K-8 education was in fact in private Christian schools. And I'm afraid this is all too common amongst middle and upper-class whites in Georgia. They self-segregate. I went to college in a town in Middle Georgia, and it was, in fact, worse. The black population in town was higher than average, but their public high school, a Title IX school, had much higher black populations. Because of the white families sending their kids to private Christian schools, whether or not they could really afford it. I have tons of anecdotes to reinforce my point, but I won't take up any more of your airtime. All of this is really just to say yes. Yes, the racism in the South is alive and well and inextricably linked to their Christianity. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well, there you go. From the belly of the beast itself.
Yeah.
Reports from education in the South.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very good.
No.
I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of badly educated people down there.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah.
What kind of hope I have for a lot of parts of the South.
Well, yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, unless they went on to college and got
out of the area,
properly educated,
yeah.
Of course, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who think they know things that are absolutely wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, guys. Great job, everybody. Jesus. We got another email. Hey there, you atheist fiends. I have only recently discovered your podcast and am thoroughly enjoying each episode I've listened to in your back catalog as well as your new episodes when they drop. In your Eclipse episode, you said you didn't think LDS Mormon genealogy was used for blood purity. You remember we had someone write into us about that. Yeah. While it may not have been publicly promoted as such, it has most certainly been used for this. He goes back. He went deep. I had to. I'm picking and choosing what I'm reading because he provided a lot of links and a lot of stuff.
Okay.
In the April 2, 1936 issue of the Millennial Star, that's an older LDS publication, Mark E. Peterson, who was some sort of apostle of the church, has an article titled, "What Started the Quest for Ancestors?" Where he says, so one of the quotes, and he provided the link, I did check this out. You don't really need any context for this, because what he said was, quote, conditions in, I'm going to remind our listeners, this is 36. So, the war hasn't really started yet.
Well,
where are we at? 36?
In 1936, the U.S. is well without it. Has not entered anything.
As
far as like what's going on in Europe, I think by 36, Germany has started to aggress.
Right. But, the whole, like, mass killing of Jews thing has not come to light.
We do not know about that.
None
yet.
of that stuff has happened.
No. But eugenics is a big, heavy, proud practice.
Alive and well.
Yeah.
Alive and well. And I think this is a very... So with that context, this is a very telling thing for him to say. Conditions in Europe also reveal a widespread interest in ancestry. Since Hitler's accession... he has required his people to prove their Aryan birth by genealogical pedigrees, making Germany a land of researchers.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cute? They're researchers.
Yes. Good for them.
Prove their worthiness as Aryans.
Wow.
Nice. Also, the emailer goes on to say, as shown... in Neither White Nor Black, Brigham Young, founder of our fair church Mormonism, has
this city
is quoted as saying, "Any man having one drop of the seed of Cain in him," that would be Negro blood for those of you who can't translate that yourselves.
And you're using that word because that's a word that he would use?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just thought I would definitely point that out.
I don't personally...
I know you well enough.
I don't personally speak of the African-American community as Negroes now.
I just wanted to make sure everybody's clear on that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Anyway, any man having one drop of the seed of Cain in him cannot hold the priesthood. And if no other prophet ever spake it before, I will say it now in the name of Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy.
I know it is true, and others know it. The LDS Church has since backed off of that.
But that was
stance.
Those are words of a prophet, Dan.
Yes, indeed. And not tremendously equivocal about it.
No.
Pretty damned.
Saying, I am a prophet and I'm saying this.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for him.
So yeah, I guess it does make sense. So like it became a very important thing for Mormons to know that they were
didn't have a drop of cane.
pure white, liliest of white, and delightsome, lest they be denied the priesthood.
Yeah.
Including there was a story of a young man who was going to marry a girl, and then her mother didn't want it to happen. Her family didn't want it to happen because somehow a rumor had gotten around that he had a little bit of African blood in him, and he had to appeal. Anyway,
Wow. All right.
this was sent in by Sharam.
All right.
Thank you for that.
Sounds good. Well, I have a voicemail
Yeah.
that is a question for us.
Oh, good.
So I'm just going to play it.
Hey, Frank and Dan, this is Jessica. I just wanted to know what your guys' aha moment to when religion was really just a bunch of bull. Just a quick story of mine was when I was young, probably in my early teens, like 13 or so, I had a lot of personal stuff going on in my life, and I kept praying and praying and praying, and I remember it so specifically about how I kept praying, and nothing ever changed. And at a certain point, I just went, this is a whole bunch of shit, isn't it? So I'm sure you guys have mentioned it before, but I thought I'd just add to the conversation. I love you guys, and I can't wait to hear you guys talk about some more bullcrap soon.
All right. Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah. We have talked a little bit before about sort of our exit from religion, but
I think it warrants us telling our stories again.
revisiting.
Yeah.
I know for me I went through a very long, a very difficult 6-month period of because I was a deep true believer
Right.
in Mormonism, and then I suddenly realized at some point along the way that I hadn't really felt the confirmation, the burning in my bosom that I
Right.
was meant to.
Like Jessica.
So time to pray, time to kneel down, and I dug in.
Yeah.
Like 6 months of like really intense prayer, fasting.
Really? You fasted?
I did. I absolutely fasted. I read scripture.
Did you have any family fast with you?
No, I did this all by myself. I didn't talk to anyone about it. I didn't
wow.
ask anyone
Okay.
about it. I didn't talk to my bishop or anything.
Okay.
Because I felt like it was for me, and this needed to be about me.
It feels like maybe you did that wrong.
Fuck you. How about that? Anyway, I did this. I went through all of this, and when nothing happened, then I went to my bishop and I said, "Hey, I don't know if I believe in God. I don't, I haven't gotten this, promised revelation
Right.
that I'm supposed to get." And he said, "Well, maybe you should go to the temple," because it was about that time. I was 18 or 19. And it was about time for me to go on the mission. So like that's part of what prompted all of this is that I was not feeling great about going out to tell a whole bunch of other people the truth of something that I wasn't convinced of myself. And I was like, yes, let's do it. Let me go through the temple, and I will feel the Spirit there, and God will reveal Himself to me, and everything will be great. And we sat down for the temple interview. Which every person has to prove themselves worthy.
Oh yeah.
And go through an interview with their bishop to get a recommend to go to the temple. And I sat down with him, and he said, "Do you believe in God the Eternal Father and in His Son Jesus Christ and in the Holy Ghost?" He got out his binder and
his
he
little script. Yeah.
asked that question.
Yep.
And I just stared at him for a second, and I was like, "Well, I don't know. That's the whole point." And he just stared at me for a long time. And then I went, "Oh, I have to answer yes, don't I?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay." And I stood up and I shook his hand and I walked out.
Huh.
Basta.
You should have just said yes.
That's what most people do. That's what almost everybody does. I don't know why I thought I was so special.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Everybody says yes. Then you could have gone, checked out the pretty temple.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, been bored beyond all belief.
Yeah. And weirded out.
Yeah, skin crawling.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's when I started my leaving process.
Your exit from the church.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, yeah, I guess. So
you went on your mission.
Yeah, not too dissimilar in the sense of like trying earnestly to get a response.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's kind of, Jessica had that. You did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've spent however many years before the mission trying to figure it all out. Basically got told, I gave them the answers they wanted to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I desperately wanted it all to be true.
Right.
Right. And then went through the temple, went on a mission, came back from the mission. Most of the mission probably didn't really feel too positively about everything. Toward the end, I kind of worked myself up into a little bit of a frenzy.
Yeah.
But if in any given moment I was honest with myself, still didn't really have solid testimony of everything.
Right.
And got back from the mission and kind of just went through a little thought process experiment lying in, on campus housing at BYU in my bed. And just was like, well, what if I don't believe God is, well, no, what if I don't believe that Joseph Smith? Well, I don't believe in the Book of Mormon. Well, if I don't believe in the Book of Mormon, I don't believe in the church. If I don't believe in the church, do I really believe in Jesus? Do I want some other version of Jesus?
Right.
I'm like, meh, what did Jesus ever really do for me? And then it was like, well, okay, but then that leaves God. Yeah, I guess I don't believe in God. And then I like really kind of dared myself to really kind of accept it.
Uh-huh.
Like what will change if I just accept right now that there is no God? And I'm like, okay, I don't believe in God. And
isn't that a great moment?
And nothing really changed.
Yeah.
And then I very quickly started coming out to like my friends.
Yeah. Coming out in multiple
ways. And
coming out
in
as
that
an atheist.
conversation with those first few friends, it was, I'm atheist, I don't believe in God. I'm atheist. I'm gay, I don't believe in God. I'm gay, I don't believe in God. And I had some pretty good friends at BYU. So, I found a liberal enclave. Right. And so that process was not that painful.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. But there you go.
There you go. Hey, we've got some folks we need to thank.
Yes, we do. We have 2 new donors on Patreon.
Ooh.
We have 1 new faithful listener, Dave. So thank you, Dave. And 1 new venerable listener,
Ooh.
Michelle.
Oh.
So thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Dave and Michelle.
Yeah. And our Lord and Savior
Yes.
continues to be
Lord and Savior Angela.
Angela.
Oh, God bless you, Angela.
Angela.
It's not a coincidence that her name means angel.
I know.
That's real.
Oh yeah.
She is an angel. So we bless all of you, donors and non, but donors just a little bit more. In the name of Angela. Amen.
Amen.
So, Frank.
Yes, Dan.
There has been, I think, Revelations level catastrophe in the world in the last month.
Really?
Just gnashing of teeth and tearing of hair.
The 4 horsemen have appeared.
And the names of the 4 horsemen are apparently Harvey, Irma, Jose, and now Maria. Because
they're a little heavy on the Latino names.
I did not name the hurricanes. Harvey, the big name down in Mexico, everybody's named Harvey. apparently.
Harbi. Harbi.
Hervé. So yeah, we've got a lot, and then there are fires in Oregon, Washington, and Montana, and all over, and huge amounts of flooding from monsoons in Asia, in Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
it's
almost as
just
if
today,
the climate were changing, Dan.
No. Don't you go there. It's Jeebus. Just today, there was a 7.1 earthquake in Mexico City.
Yeah, I can't blame climate change on that.
No.
Or that on climate change.
Correct. So the only explanation is Jesus then. That's the only
you're
one.
Totally right. Because earthquakes never happen.
Nope.
Outside of hurricane season.
Apparently, it's like the anniversary of the really bad Mexico City earthquake that happened like in the 80s, I think.
Really?
I don't know.
To the day?
Yeah, I think so, but I can't really verify that.
That's
so
really
I'm
weird.
not going to do it. Anyway, here's what we're getting at. It's obvious. So there's two obvious things at play when you're a religious person who believes in signs from God and all of this shit goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Beforehand, you hear all about pray that Irma doesn't destroy everything, pray for the victims, pray for Irma to turn left, pray for Maria to turn right, whatever. Pray.
Right.
Pray that this doesn't, to mitigate this catastrophe in some way.
But then the catastrophe happens.
It happens, and Houston goes underwater for a minute, and Florida is without power, and things are all busted, and all of the Caribbean is just
so your initial prayers were for naught.
The prayers didn't work.
Prayers did not work, but now
so how do we
continue your praying, right?
In a different way.
Can we please help us get through this?
Yeah, Lord, give us strength. Lord, give us the wherewithal.
And those
give
are
us
more
food.
likely to feel like they were answered.
Sure,
because you will find your own strength. And FEMA will show up with food.
Absolutely.
And water.
Well, and I saw a thing online that was like, a thing that was going around online that was somebody had posted a thing about, we don't get enough time with our families. In this day and age, everybody sort of retreats to their iPhones and their, video games or whatnot. And we never spend any time together. So if it took God sending a hurricane for all of us to be just sitting quietly in the same room together,
killing
talking,
all these people,
quiet about that,
wreaking havoc, upending people's lives.
They were probably bad people anyway, but the good people are just sitting in their living rooms with their family, finally having some family time,
playing Uno.
This is the Lord bringing families together.
Oh,
praise
the Lord
Him.
Works in mysterious ways.
Doesn't he just?
Oh, so glad we get to have an iPhone break. While people are dying. And drowning.
Yeah, while someone's
suffering.
Someone's
starving.
life support has now stopped. The thing
they don't have fresh water.
Yeah.
They're subjected to harsh chemicals in the water.
People are now homeless. Millions of people without the homes that they're living in.
But thank God we get to just enjoy this.
It's going to be a hard
That is
cleanup.
fucked, Dan.
I'm telling you.
I cannot even believe somebody went there.
I'm telling you.
This is the shit that happens. Self-centered bullshit.
But this is the mind of the Christian, right? It's everything has to fit somehow into this framework. And God is benevolent. So how the fuck do we square that circle when benevolent God has sent malevolent hurricane?
Yeah.
Or earthquake or fill in the blank disaster. So I think this is where what we need to remember about. And then, of course, the other response is, well, God sent this hurricane because of sin.
Oh, yeah.
Because we as a country have deserved it for how bad we are. We know that there's precedent. He killed everybody but the ones on the boat that one time.
Yeah.
He's
a pretty bad marksman.
Well, he
just, he often
uses a bomb where a gun would suffice. It's true.
Yeah. Because if we're so wicked, right?
Yeah.
And that's why the storm is coming, is because we're so wicked. Why is it that the good family people, this nice little family down the road, that they're the ones that are wiped out?
Yeah, why do they have to suffer?
Why are children being swept away in the waters?
Yeah.
Right?
Were
they
people,
wicked?
Good people
Right?
dying.
This is a
Trying to save other people.
horrifying God.
It's a terrifying God.
Horrifying.
But-
But he would just so indiscriminately this is like just a messy, just shotgun, just,
Yeah. And it happens.
and when it hits, it hits.
And it so often happens, at least in our country, to the most religious part of our country. The most Christian part of our country is down in the south of these United States.
Well, they are the most wicked.
Well, they don't think so. But my goodness, if your belief system requires that all of these weather phenomena and all of these awful catastrophes
Yeah.
are part of God's plan. So you have to believe that they're part of God's plan, and you have to believe that God is benevolent.
Right.
Man, that's a tricky. That's a cute little mind fuck they've got for themselves.
Maybe God's upset at you because you're not baking cakes for gay people. You refuse to open your pizza parlor.
They seem never to come to that conclusion. Never once does the conclusion happen that like, oh, we're not being Christian by being loving enough.
God is punishing you because you're racist, homophobic, sexist,
You're
and
jerks.
just ignorant in general.
Yeah.
That's why God is punishing
Right.
you.
You're ignoring science. You're ignoring good information. I'm giving you all of this good information, and you're ignoring it.
God is angry.
God's mad as hell.
Yeah.
Why don't they come to that conclusion?
I don't know.
Like, he's like, you know what? Global warming's real. I'll prove it to you if I have to. I'll wreck you to prove it to you.
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Yes, please.
These people, so yes, but that's never the conclusion.
No, never.
It's always that someone's bumholing someone else, and that's the problem. Or a boy wants to be a girl, or a girl wants to be a boy. And
Well, you
suddenly,
got that wrong, Dan.
suddenly, there's the problem. Suddenly that's what God's mad about. People who don't hurt other people, but are doing something that they think is icky.
They go around actually hurting people,
Oh yeah,
and
Yeah.
they can't see it
no,
because they're hurting for Jesus.
They're hurting for Jesus. .com should be something. I hope someone just snaps that up and puts images of us on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this is the thing. This is where they all go, and I sympathize with them because cognitively, it is a terrible position to be in. You cannot make sense of all of that stuff.
No.
There is no line that you can draw where it all makes sense. So they just grasp in the darkness for anything.
Yeah.
And most of them strangely turn to hateful things.
I don't get. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
It is amazing.
And what's really amazing is that like 99% of everyone's response, even in the midst of everything, is to love and help each other.
Right.
That is just human response.
Right.
You look out for your neighbor, you get in there, you see, you save somebody. That's how you respond.
Yeah.
And yet, the stories that they want to tell, that they're interested in, these religious people, are the stories of looting and what savages people become and all of this stuff. And it's just so backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Because their brains have to bend in contortions that no brain should ever go to in order to make that work. So that's just, it's nutty.
It is nutty, Dan.
I think the conclusion here
It
is
is nutty.
and
And it's
nuts.
groundbreaking.
Yeah.
It's a groundbreaking conclusion. but it's nutty.
Yeah. Well, this was more about the journey than the destination, friend. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have anything you want to say, if you're in the midst, if you're in one of these disaster zones and you want to talk about it, write to us. podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click the like button.
And while on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but we'll let you in.
Indeed, indeed. Hey, remember that we are on Facebook now, all of our shows at facebook.com/TGIA.
YouTube. We're on YouTube.
What did I say? I said Facebook?
Yeah.
That's fun.
We've been on Facebook for a while. Yeah, youtube.com/TGIAtheist.
That's the one where you can see us and critique our fashion choices. That's always fine. And also, hey, we got people to thank. I want to thank Mackenzie for her hard work on our Facebook page, and thanks to Sarah, Amy, and Danny for their fine work as moderators of the Members Only Lounge.
And thanks go out to the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston for the use of their music.
Yeah, they're great. And thank you, fine, beautiful listener and viewer, for tuning in.
Bye-bye.